let's start sitting. And really you can sit any way that you're comfortable. We'll just take a little bit of a jostle from side to side. And as you're doing that, see if you can feel your base, sitting bones. And then just very, very gradually let the movement start to quiet down, but see if you can land as even as possible on the two sides. And then give them a press down. Let's actually press down with the hands as well, and that'll help elongate the torso, side body, spine. Yeah. So let's keep the length. And just rest the hands. Palms can face up or down, your choice. If you'd like to close the eyes, you can do that too. And now think about the spot that's at the back of the head, right at the very base of your skull. And create the tiniest little lift right up through there. And at the same time, you'll likely feel the jaw drop down. See if you can relax your tongue and all of the muscles in your face. Let go of any expression that might be holding on. And think about just a little bit of softness from the inner corners of the eyes to the outer corners and beyond, the temples. Take a few breaths, giving yourself this time to arrive. And as the breath moves in and out, just notice the subtle ways that your body moves every time the breath happens. And we'll create a little subtle little contraction here on the exhale. So the next time you breathe in, just let that come. And then on the exhale, think about all sides of the waist, just narrowing in a little bit, giving your torso a little bit of a hug. And then on the inhale, let that relax as the breath moves in. So every exhale will just create a little bit of tone, and that's on all sides, the front, the sides, the back. And on the inhale, you'll let it go a bit. And then from here, let's let that work go. Allow your head to bow down and the eyes to blink open. And we'll take the head back up to the center. Anybody who's sitting cross-legged or in a similar way, let's change so you have the other one in front. And then we'll just draw some circles here, letting the torso move around. And if you wanted to make this movement quite large and exaggerated, you could add in almost like a push-pull with one hand and then the other. But consequently, if you'd rather keep it a little more subtle, a little more small, that's another option. And then, did we go both directions? If we didn't, let's go the other way. If you did, take another turn. And then just very gradually let the movement start to settle down. And as we find the middle again, let's one more time root down through the sitting bones and lift up through the crown of the head, but also a little bit up through the base of your skull. Take the hands in this position like you're serving a pizza. Broaden the collarbones. And then pretend you're holding something in like a big rubber band in between your hands. And we'll slowly move the hands away from each other to create a little extra work around the shoulder blades and the middle back. And then back off, and let's go again. So you find that slow motion pull, and pretend it's a little harder to do than it really is. Yeah. And then last time, we'll hold in the open position. And then let's take hands to heart center prayer. And you'll press the hands in towards the midline, but at the same time, think of pulling the elbows out, away from the midline. Yeah, so hands press in, elbows press out. And see if you can find the work here around the back, around the shoulder blades, keeping spaciousness around the neck, and a nice lifted feeling through the crown of the head. Great. And then we'll let that go. Release the arms. Let's stretch the legs out in front of you and just create a little bit of movement anywhere, feet, ankles, toes, thighs. Yeah. All right. And then from here, friends, we'll turn over and we'll meet in the all fours position. So take your time to get there. Feel free to rearrange your stuff if you need to. And then as you start to arrive here, let's give the body just a little shift from side to side. Yeah. And as we're moving in this way, it might already be happening, create more of a side bend. So when the ribs go to the left, for example, the head and the tail go to the right. Take that a few times. Yeah. And then let's pause here, right in the center. Breathe in. On the exhale, let the right elbow bend and turn your head to the left. The right elbow may or may not touch the floor. Inhale, we return to center, and as we exhale, we'll go the other direction. So take that a few more times. The inhale is always the center, and then the exhale will be our rotation. Yeah, and see if you can just find a little movement here through the rib cage, through the upper spine as we take these turns. Good. And then let's pause here. Widen your knees a little bit, or a lot. Let's shift back into our child's pose. Stay there and just for a second, go onto your fingertips, spider fingers, give the mat a little scrunch as you lift the palms and the wrists away from the floor. And then we'll set the elbows down, turn the palms to face up, and let the fingers curl in and out like a sea anemone. And allow the wrists to bend. And then from here, we'll set the hands back down. The elbows can lift off the floor, and let's just take a little slither from side to side. A couple times here, back and forth. And then eventually we'll come back to all fours, but let's maintain this width in the knees as we find our all fours position. Yeah. Left arm will go a little forward and more towards the middle of the mat. As we inhale, turn to the right. You can lift the right arm or keep the elbow bent up to you. Exhale, we'll scoop the arm through for thread the needle, and we'll take this a few times more. So the inhale, we turn, and then the exhale will come underneath. Take that a couple more times here. Yeah. And then your choice, if you enjoy this back and forth and want to do a few more, take a few more. If you'd rather stay in the underneath, stay in the underneath. And then in the position here, it might feel good to shift the pelvis a tiny bit to the right as you press the left hand into the floor, and also press the back of the right arm into the floor. Good. When you're ready to come out, we'll press the left hand down. Let's return to hands and knees, keeping the wide knees, and just take a few little cat-cows in the center before we swap sides. Notice if the right side of the body and the left feels any different from each other. Yeah, and then we'll pause. Take the right hand a little forward, a little more towards the center of the mat. Inhale, we turn open and lift the left side. Exhale, we'll scoop underneath and take that a few more times just at your own pace. And feel free to experiment too. Sometimes it feels different. Instead of lifting the arm with a straight arm to have a bent elbow, you can try that a few times. Yeah. And then your choice. If you want to keep going like that, take a few more. If you'd rather come down, we'll come down. And those of you who have come down, it might feel good just a tiny little bit to shift the pelvis left. Press the palm of the right hand down and press the back of the left arm down into the floor. Good. When you're ready, let's press into the right hand to undo. Undo the knees, just bring the knees right underneath you. And let's take a yogi's choice here, any sort of movement through the spine. You could do some circles, cat-cows, little wiggles, anything like that. Good. And then from here, friends, let's pause and walk the hands just a little further forward. As we inhale, we'll shift forward and create a little lift at the end of the movement. And on the exhale, we'll shift back. You can either go all the way to child's pose or just part of the way. Let's take that a few more times. So the inhale is a forward with a little lift. On the exhale, we take it back. Yeah, now let's say for whatever reason this movement just feels too big for right now. You could do cat-cow instead. Yeah, no problem. Good. All right, everybody, let's pause next time we come forward, and then we'll come all the way down to the belly. I'm going to come down onto one side. And once you're there, scooch the legs back and down one at a time just to create a little extra space. We'll bend up the right knee and hold on to the foot or to the ankle for a little quad stretch. Yeah. Stay in the position and see if you can. Let's do this. Breathe in. On the exhale, find that narrowing in through all sides of the waist, hugging into the midline. And then on the inhale, you'll relax the abdomen a little bit. And find it again on the exhale. Slow exhale as we narrow in. Good. And then we'll release that on the first side. Change to the second side, bending up the left knee, holding on the foot. Take a second to get into the position. And then you'll take a relaxed breath in, and slowly here on the exhale, condense all sides of the waist into the midline. And then you'll let it go a little bit on the inhale. And find that again on the exhale, just a little contraction through the abdomen. Yeah. And then we'll release both legs. Stay on the belly and just wiggle the pelvis a little bit back and forth. Yeah, just a little side to side. And then when you're ready from here, let's press back into child's pose with the toes tucked under, but keep the hips up a little so we don't go all the way back. Look at your hands and make sure they're at least shoulders width apart. Let's lift the knees off the floor, keeping them a little bent. Now bend the elbows just a tiny bit out to the sides. Turn the tips of the elbows in towards each other to rotate through the upper arms, and then press the arms to straight, sending the hips back. Maybe the legs start to straighten too. And then from here, maybe you add in a little pedal with the legs, a little shift with the hips, a little twist with the spine. Yeah. Easing our way into this first down dog. I find the first one of any class is sometimes a little bit sticky. Yeah. Now from here, you can either walk the hands to the feet or the feet to the hands. Once you're in position, we'll bend the knees, press your weight into the heels. Use the inhale to come up, nice and easy, arms overhead. And then down we come, arms down alongside you. All right, friends, let's stand with the feet about shoulders width apart. Slight bend in the knees and let the right shoulder come forward, up, back and down. And then the left side does the same thing. And the whole spine is creating a little rotation here. You'll feel a weight shift in the feet. Keep doing that, and if it feels good to make the movement larger, you can make bigger arms, like you're painting the sky. Yeah. Good. And then let the movement just start to quiet down, become a little smaller and a little smaller. Yes. Okay. And then once you're back in the center again, we'll reset. Let's come to the front of the mat, and in a second we'll do some lunges. If you need a blanket for the back knee, you can have it. If you need blocks for your hands, set them up at the front. Let's root down through the heels, slight little bend in the knees. And as we inhale, take the arms out and up, re-lengthen the legs. Now let's come down, bent knees, forward fold. Halfway up, inhale, the chest comes forward. Lower yourself down. Let's step the right leg back, knee down, and you can keep the toes tucked under or have the chin down on the floor. It's up to you. On the next inhale, let's shift forward and lift up through the chest. Exhale, we shift back, going straighter in the front leg. Take that a few more times at your own pace. All right, friends, next time we shift forward, let's pause. Tuck the back toes under again, lift through the back thigh. And as you're in the position, draw back through the pelvis, forward through the chest. Good. Let's move the blocks if you're on the blocks. Then we'll go to plank pose, but for this version, let's take plank on the knees. So the knees come down a little further back than the hips. In your position here, let the chest dip down just a tiny little bit, and then try to pull the chest forward, moving the shoulder blades down the back. Press into the floor and then lift a little bit out of that. Good, we'll do one more time. So little drop down, and then pull the chest forward, shoulder blades down, and then press into the floor. Great. Let's bend the elbows and in slow motion, try to come down and let everything touch at the same time when you come down to the belly. Yeah, I'm going to take child's pose instead. Oh, Scott, so gorgeous. Nice job, everybody. Once you're in position on the belly, let's take a sphinx. So the elbows bend, the forearms are parallel. Let yourself just kind of drop for a second, and on the next inhale, try to pull the floor back. We lengthen to lift, pulling the chest forward through the gateway of the arms. Exhale, take it back down. Take that a few more times. So the inhale, we find the length to lift. And exhale. Yeah, a few more times, yogis. Every time you come up, find that little pull back through the arms. And then this will be our last time. Next time we come down, let's reset the hands. Press yourself back into downward facing dog. Take your time to get there. Good. Let's come to the front of the mat, feet to the hands. Once you get there, hands come to the shins. Halfway up we come, chest comes forward, lengthen the legs. Lower it down, little bend in the knees. A few more times. Inhale, we lengthen, chest forward. Exhale, we're down. Last round, everybody. Up we come. On the way down, left leg will step back, knee to the floor, lunge pose. Take what you want in the back toes. Inhale, it's a forward with a little lift. Exhale, we shift it back. Yeah, take that a few more times and keep your awareness for a little bit in the dorsal spine, that space in between the shoulder blades. And when you come forward and up, see if you can find a little movement in that little spot. Yeah. Great. And then the next time we come forward, let's stay. Tuck the back toes under, lift up through the back knee and thigh. Can you draw the chest forward and the pelvis back, lengthening? Yeah. And then from here, let's go again into plank pose. Option to have the knees down like before. You could do straight legs. From your position, just like we did, tiny little drop down through the chest. And then pull the chest forward, shoulder blades down the back. From there, press and lift up into plank, stay. Breathe in. On the exhale, find that little abdominal hug, all sides hugging in towards the midline. Gorgeous. Inhale, let it go a little bit. And then one more time on the exhale, we find it again. See if you can keep that as we lower down to the belly. Everything touches in one piece. Nice job, nice job, nice job. Gorgeous. Let's keep your hands in the position they're in, that kind of cobra shape. And on the inhale, try to drag the floor back, broaden the collarbones. We lengthen to lift. You might go up a little higher or not, and then lower down, back down. Take that a few more times. So the hands drag back on the inhale. And then you let it go on the exhale. Good. See if you can feel this engagement through the upper back, right in between the shoulder blades and maybe a little below. Good. This will be our last one. When you're ready, we'll press back into downward facing dog pose. Take your time to get there. And we'll add in a little something once you're in position. So we've done this already. Let's bend the knees. Keep them bent. Try to press the mat forward as you send the hips back. And at the very, very tops of the thighs, press wide apart, like you had something that you were pressing into. Press out away from the midline. And notice how if you do that a lot, the weight goes all the way to the pinky side of the foot. Hug in a little bit in the ankle, so the weight's more over the ball of the big toe. And then re-lengthen the legs. Adho Mukha Shavasana. From your position here, let's meet a standing forward fold. You can either walk the hands back or the feet forward. Press into both heels. Bring yourself all the way up to stand. And then we'll release the arms. All right, yogis. Let's take a little hula hoop here just to circle around. And then we go the other direction. Yeah. Great. So we'll take a little bit of balance work, balance on one leg. Yay! Come to the front of the mat here. And it'll look like this. The left leg will be down, the right leg will be up. And we'll do sort of this position, this little hinge, and then come up. Yeah, let's all go together. So left leg is down, right leg is up, hands come to prayer. We'll inhale. On the exhale, hinge, bending the standing leg. Chest comes forward. Try not to collapse. And on the inhale, we return upright. Let's take that 2 more times. Exhale, we hinge. Press into the left heel to come back up. All right, friends, this one will be different. We'll hinge. And then glide into lunge. Let's have the back toes tucked under and we're in the diagonal line. Stretch the arms back. You got it. Lift the front of the shoulders away from the floor and pull back through the fingertips. One long line between the crown of the head and the back heel. Nice job. From here, let's lower the arms down. Blocks are to the floor, your choice. In your position, bend the back knee and straighten out the front leg. And as we inhale, we'll switch. Bend the front knee, straighten out the back leg. Do that a few more times. So it's a little similar to what we were doing earlier, but now the back knee is off the floor. Good. All right, friends. Let's pause here. The next time we shift forward, lengthen the spine, turn the back heel to the floor. Come up for a warrior 2, and we won't really stay. It's just a transition. From your position, though, press down through the arms as if you could press into a little ledge. Turn your face to look left. And in the right hand, from the center of the chest to the fingertips, can you grow a little bit longer there? Yes. From here, let's look down to the floor. Arms windmill down, back heel turns up. Plank pose, your favorite. Any way you want to do it is fine. We'll breathe in. On the exhale, little contraction through the midsection. Inhale, we let that go a little bit. And then find it again on the exhale. Good job. Let's press all the way back into downward dog. We won't stay. From your down dog, let's come to the front of the mat, feet to the hands. Halfway lift, chest comes forward. Lower it down. Let's step the left leg back into our lunge pose. That's it. And then from here, a little bit different. Let's turn the back heel down. At first, come up to warrior 2. And then we'll shift forward. Stretch the front leg to straight. Lift the front arm up. And then we'll re-bend. Right knee comes and forearm comes to thigh. Left arm overhead, side angle. And let's do that one a few times. So inhale, it's up. And exhale, it's down. I heard that. Let's go again. Inhale, it's up. And then this time it's all the way down, hands to the floor, back heel turns up. Step the back foot to the front. Root down to rise up. Inhale, we grow. Let's take hands straight in heart center. Oh. All right, friends. Let's see if I can remember all of that on the second side. So the right leg is the base. The left leg comes up. Let's inhale. On the exhale, we hinge. Both knees bend as the chest comes forward.
Did we start on the left leg?
Did we? No. This is right leg down, left leg up.
Okay. I was wrong.
Yeah. We did both sides, but we started with the balance on the other one. So I think we're good. All right. Let's see what happens when we head back into that diagonal line lunge. Whoa. Arms come back, yeah. Can you keep the front of the shoulders lifted away from the floor? Pull the fingertips towards the back heel. Yeah, just one more moment. And then lower the hands down onto something. Let's inhale. As we exhale, bend the back knee, go straighter in the front. Take that a few times more. Inhale it forward and exhale it back. All right, friends, let's pause in the forward position. Re-lengthen the spine. Back heel to the floor. Up we come, warrior two pose. We're just going to hold this one, yeah? So stay in your position. Look towards the right hand, but keep your brain in the left arm. And from the center of the chest to the fingertips, drop back. Yeah. All right. And then from here, friends, let's come all the way down. Hands to the floor, back heel lifts. From here, let's go plank to downward facing dog pose. And then we'll come back to plank pose. Inhale. Exhale, contract through the midsection. Inhale, do it again. And on the exhale, we find that little contraction. Good job. Let's do one more. All right, and then as you're ready, we'll press back into downward facing dog pose. From your position here, let's come to the front of the mat. Take a halfway lift, chest moves forward, and then lower yourself down. Right leg steps back into our lunge pose. From here, turn the heel down. Let's come up first into our warrior two, and then we'll shift forward. Take the left arm up, the left leg straight, and then down we come into our side angle pose. Take that a few more times. So the inhale brings us up, and the exhale takes us back down. Yes, friends, couple more rounds here. Good. And then let's take it one more time up. This next time on the way down, we'll come all the way down, hands to the floor, back heel turns up. Step the back leg to the front. Press down through the heels. Inhale, we grow tall. Exhale, hands come straight through center. I think we did it, yeah? Let's release the arms. We'll celebrate by means of hula hoop asana. All right, and then we'll go the other direction. Yeah, me too. Me too. Okay, friends, so we'll do a similar sequence as before, and I'll throw in some add-ons. Feel free to add them on or to not add them on. Yeah? We'll take a little lunch break. Scott's going to turn off his phone. It's okay, it's okay. All right. All right, friends, are we ready? Yes. Let's see what happens. Don't worry about it. Left leg is down. We got a do-over. Right leg comes up, hands to prayer. Inhale, we're here. Exhale, we hinge. Let's take 3 of these. So this was 1. And 2. Yep. And then on number 3, option to go back into lunge. We'll get there eventually. Some of you might like to hover in the balance, going straight in the top leg, keeping the standing knee a little bit bent. And maybe the arms come back here. And then whenever you're ready, we'll glide back. Keyword is glide back into our diagonal line lunge. Good. Let's stay here. Lengthen the spine. You can keep the arms back or you can take them forward and kind of up. It's up to you. Yeah. Nice job. Let's breathe in. Exhale to release the arms down to the floor or to blocks. Inhale, the chest comes forward. And then as we exhale, bend the back knee, go straighter in the front leg. Take that a few more times here. Inhale it forward and exhale it back. Yeah. Let's go again. And then we'll pause here. Next time the front leg is bent, re-lengthen the spine, turn the back heel to the floor. Up we come into warrior two pose. Yeah. All right. Just know what side you're on for next time. Look towards the front arm. Press down through both heels. And then arms windmill to the floor, back heel turns up. Let's go plank pose, any variation. Inhale once you get there. Exhale, little contract through the abdomen. Let's do that again. Inhale, relax a little bit. And exhale, we contract. Nice job. When you're ready, we'll come to the belly. See if you can land in one piece. A-okay to set the knees down. That's it. And then let's just take a little rest here. Maybe a little wobble, maybe a little wiggle. That's it. And then let's take 3 cobras. Any style, any height is fine. So inhale, we lengthen to lift. Exhale, we come back down. 2 more times, friends. Yeah. All right, when you're ready, we'll head back into our downward facing dog pose. And then from your downward facing dog, we'll come to the front of the mat, feet to the hands. Just the halfway lift. On the way down, left leg steps back, lunge pose. From here, heel to the floor, up we come into warrior 2. From your warrior 2, let's shift forward, straighten the front leg, lift the front arm. And then we'll bend the knees, side angle pose. Take that again, coming up. And then again, coming down. Now this last one will be a little different. Let's come up. And as we come down, slide the back hand and the hip, come forward, but don't come all the way down. Right arm reaches out. Press firmly down through the back leg heel. And if you want the extra challenge, left arm can come up too. If that's not a great decision, you can come back into the previous version that we did. Everybody though, can you turn the chest towards the left as the left heel stays rooted? Good. Let's come back up, straighten the front leg. And then re-bend the knee, arms windmill to the floor, plank to the belly. And then again, we'll take our 3 cobras, any style. Inhale forward and up, and exhale back down. 2 more times, friends. Good. After you've done this last one, let's head back into our downward facing dog. A little bend in the knees. Once you get there, press the mat down and forward. Hips go up and back. Widen the upper thighs, hugging through the ankles as you re-lengthen the legs. When you're ready, we'll meet in a standing forward fold any way you want to do it. Weight is in the heels. Press down to lift up. Inhale to grow. Hands come straight to heart center. Okay. Let's release the arms. And then before we do all that on side 2, take a little bit of a wider stance. And earlier we did these. We're going to do that again, but go the other direction. So let the right arm come up, forward, and down. Left arm. And back and forth we go. And if you want to add in some swimmer arms here, maybe you do. Nice job. He always puts on the right music for this swimming move, doesn't he? All right, and then just gradually let it become a little smaller, a little smaller. This one never feels good to stop abruptly, does it? All right, friends. Oh. Let's come to the front of the mat. You might already be there. And then we've got our second side. Now I think some of you are on the other side, so just be sure if it's your second side. I think most of us, that's right leg down, left leg up. Hands to prayer. Inhale. Exhale, we hinge, bend the right knee. So we'll do 3 of these. Inhale, back up. Exhale, we hinge. And then last one, option on the hinge to hold it a little longer, go straighter in the top leg. Option to go back into your diagonal line lunge. Yeah, we're getting there eventually. Arms might go straight back. When you're ready to get there, we'll glide. Light as a feather, light as a feather. Lengthen the spine long. If you want a little extra, you'll take the arms forward and out on the diagonal. Inhale here. Exhale, down come the arms. Inhale, we shift the chest forward. And on the exhale, bend the back knee, straighten out the front leg. Take that a few times more. Good. And then from here, friends, we'll pause with the front leg bent. Turn the back heel to the floor. Up we come to warrior two pose. Just for a moment. Yeah. And then from your warrior two, let's come all the way back down again. Back heel turns up. Plank and we'll hold. Inhale when you're in the position. Exhale, little contract through the abdomen. Do that 2 more times. Yes. And then last one. Good. We'll come all the way to the belly. See if you can land in one piece. And then once you get there, we'll take our 3 cobras, any style. Inhale to lengthen and lift. Exhale to come back down. Yeah, 2 more of those. Good. When you're ready to return to down dog, that's where we'll meet. From your down dog, let's come to the front of the mat. Just one halfway lift. Inhale to lengthen. Exhale to come down. We'll step right leg back, lunge pose. Lengthen the spine, turn the back heel to the floor. Up we come to warrior two. Yeah. From here, let's shift forward. Straighten the front leg, lift the front arm. And then we bend the knee, forearm on the thigh, side angle. Let's take that again, coming up. And then again, coming down. Yeah, sometimes we end up on the other side. Let's come again, coming up. And now this one's different. Slide the back hand and the hip, come forward but not down. Press into the back leg heel, like quite a bit, yeah? If you want more, you can take the right arm up too. If not, don't do it. Let's turn the chest towards the right, towards the ceiling. Oh, yogis. This one's harder than it looks, isn't it? Yeah, Patricia, you look great over there. Everybody, let's come up just for a sec. And then down we come, hands to the floor. How about we skip plank this time? Go back to down dog. And then how about child's pose? Maybe that's more for me than for you. Come on down. Any little wiggles, any little wobbles, anything like that, fair game. All right. And then from here, friends, let's return to our down dog. Just use that as a transition to come back up. Standing forward fold and then upright. Mountain pose. No rush to get there. Yeah. All right. Nice work, everybody. Let's just settle for a second. And take one hand over your heart, one hand over the belly. Feel your breath. Maybe you feel your heartbeat. Next time the exhale comes, let the knees bend, let yourself kind of bow inward a little bit. And then as we inhale, let the arms pull away from the body, straighten the legs, lift the chest. Exhale, we'll come in, just let the elbows bend and you'll curl in. Inhale to open and spread out. Let's take that again, but now on the open, turn your chest to the right and let the arms separate, so we're going to twist. Exhale, we're back to center. Inhale, open to the left. Gorgeous, back to center. Let's take one more time on each side. You go at your pace. Yes, friends. And then after this next one, let's take one more just straight through the center. And back in. Stay down. Separate your feet a little wider. Rest the forearms to thighs. And if it feels good to do a little side to side or a little figure eight, maybe you do. Yeah. All right, everybody. Let's pause here. Press your weight into the heels. Use the inhale to come up again. And exhale just to release the arms. Great. Okay. So we'll take another round of these, this time standing. Let's just stand in a comfortable stance and narrow our eyes to you. And then in this position, just standing, a lot of times we have the tendency to press the pelvis forward. So let's adjust. Bend the knees tiny little bit. At the very, very tops of the thighs, scoot back so the weight's a little more in the heels. And try to keep the weight in the heels. Press down through the heels as you lengthen the legs. We'll take the hands into this position. Broaden the collarbones. And then you've got that giant, thick rubber band. You're trying to pull it apart, creating your own resistance. Yeah. And then back off a little, coming to center. Let's do that 2 more times. Nice slow pull apart, engaging through the upper back or the shoulder blades. And then the last time we go, we'll stay open. That's it. Good. And then we'll take this one again. Back off a little from that. Take the hands to prayer. Press the hands into the midline. But at the same time, imagine you could pull the elbows away from the midline. Hands press in, elbows pull out. The wheels are turning in the brain. Good. Stay doing that. Bend the knees a little, shift the hips back. So kind of a not too high Utkatasana. Yeah. Shift your weight over onto the left side. And then from here, if you're able to, cross the right ankle over the left thigh. Yeah? Now, feel free to change the position of your arms. Feel free to use the hand to assist. That's it. Now, for so many of us, when we come into this position, the pelvis tucks under. Try not to do that. Draw the tailbone back and attempt to have normal curvature in the lumbar spine. Yeah, I know. It's balance, it's hips, it's a lot of stuff going on. You ready to come out? Just ease your way back up, release. Oh, okay. Now, if you needed to get in a different way, do what you need to do. If you want to get in the same way, we'll find that hands press in, elbows press apart, knees bend, hips shift back. Don't let the pelvis tuck under. Shift over to the right side as the left one comes up. Flex the foot. Notice if you got the pelvis tuck, undo. Shift the pelvis back, the tailbone back. Breathe. Oh, I know. Sarah, I'm looking at you. Good work, everybody. Let's come back and release. Not easy. It's not easy. Let's take some hula hoops. Go the other direction. Yeah. So we'll take a few more stretches here for the outer hips. Let's come down onto your mat and have a seat. If you need to sit on something, if you need to elevate the pelvis, take whatever you need. And we'll start in a Dandasana with the legs forward. I'm going to go a little wider just because I need the space, but you can be about hips width distance to the feet. Press the hands down. Before we press the hands down, let's do that. Take one hand to the inner thigh and one hand to the buttock on the same leg. Inner thigh goes down, buttock pulls back. Do that on the other side. Yeah, just so you have a better base. And then press the fingertips down into the floor. Press down to lift up. Broaden the collarbones and reach forward through your heels. Good. Breathe in. On the exhale, find that contract through the abdomen. Good. On the inhale, let it go a little bit. Let's lift up through the arms. Exhale, we find it again. Contract through the abdomen. Good. One more time with the arms up. If you need to put them down, though, do it. Good. And then let's lower the arms down. Scooch both legs to the right, but not far, just a little bit, just over the midline. And it's kind of awkward. And then the right leg will cross over the left leg. It's kind of a one-legged Gomukhasana. And this one's actually about the left leg, so the right leg position doesn't matter too much. Press the hands down to sit up. Reach outward through the left heel. And then press the hands back as you hinge the torso forward. And the leg and the torso are not in the same line. Yeah. Now, for most of us, just this is plenty. Some of you might need to go a little bit further. Yeah. Do though keep the long spine, keep the hinge at the hip creases rather than rounding and collapsing down. Good. Now from here, let's back off, bring the torso to center, shift your weight onto the left side, And then you'll bend the left knee. Some of you will come into this leg position, which is called Gomukhasana. I can't do it, so some of you will do my version. You could either do Sukhasana, right leg in front, or if you wanted to do double pigeon instead, right leg on top. Yeah, any of those are fine. Yeah, so see if you can scooch the right foot, so it's kind of on the outside, so the knees kind of stack. Instead of being here, it's more here. Yeah, come into this one instead. Come into this one instead. All right, everybody. Press the floor down so the pelvis can lift. Scooch the pelvis back a little and then down. That's it. Now slide your thumbs into the hip creases. Press down to lift up. Broaden the collarbones. And then press the thumbs back to hinge the torso forward. This is a forward, it's not a downward. Yeah? Some of you will stay right here. Some of you will take the arms ahead and think of dragging the floor back as you pull the torso forward again. Yeah? Once you're forward, if coming down is a good idea, add that in. Sometimes though we go here and then we end up rolling back, and that's not where we want to be. Yeah. Now, if you're in Sukhasana or in the double pigeon, press out through your heels. If you've got the feet back close to the hips, just relax your feet. Yeah. For anybody, if you want to add in a little wobble, a little side to side, that might feel good. If it doesn't, don't do it. Great. Okay, friends, let's ease your way back up to center. Undo the legs, stretch them out, jiggle them out. Yeah. And then for side two, both legs a little bit to your left, just a little bit. And then from here, it's the left one that crosses on the top. Press down into the floor, sit up tall, reach outward through the right heel. And then press the floor back as you hinge the torso forward. Good. Yeah. Keep the right foot active. Trisha, can you move your chest more forward and up? Yeah, that's it. Does that do anything for you? It was already you were already there. And then let's back off a little. Lean to your right. The left foot will come under, and then some of you will do the knee stack. Some of you will do Sukhasana, and some of you will do the double pigeon, Agni Sambhasana. Yeah? Once you've figured out what you're doing, press the floor down, lift the pelvis, scooch back and down, slide the thumbs into the hip creases. Press down to lift up, create this kind of anchor, and then press the thumbs back to hinge forward. That's it. You can stay here, you can take the arms forward. If the arms are forward, try to pull the floor back. And then some of you maybe go a little lower. Some of you say, no, I'm staying right here. If your legs are crossed or the shins are stacked, press out a little through your heels. If you have the feet close to the hips, just let the feet relax. Anybody wants to add in a bit of a wobble, that's a possibility. I love it. Everybody's doing a different pose. It's brilliant. Let's come back to center. Come back to center. Gently undo. Yep. Give them a little, whatever you need. Oh, yogi. Yeah. All right. So from here, let's come into a supported fish pose, yeah? There are a plenitude of different setups. If you have your favorite, take your favorite. I'm just going to do the mild version. One block going horizontal on the lowest height, and then a second block for the head, any height. For this, the horizontal block, you want the block under the shoulder blades. If you have the vertical block, it goes along the spine. Yeah. Legs can be bent or straight. You might need to wiggle a little bit to get a good spot. Yeah, if you have the horizontal block, it's kind of making a shelf for the shoulder blades. And we want to make sure the head is supported and the throat is relaxed in whatever position you're in. Yeah. Think about just this nice soft width across the collarbones. Kind of a weightedness through the arms, the head of the shoulder. Allow your body just to move as every time the breath comes in and out. Now, some of you will be perfectly happy just to stay here for a little longer. Some of you might want some extra arm movements, and I'm going to leave it pretty open-ended. So if you've taken my class, sometimes we'll do the sea monster, you could do that. Sometimes we'll do snow angels, you could do that. There's a couple of different arm pathways that might feel good to you. Otherwise, you'll just stay and chill for a few more moments. To get out of the position. Let's have the legs long. If they were bent, we'll have them long. And then you'll bend the elbows and kind of press the forearms into the floor. Let the chest lift first to kind of press yourself up. You might get a little head rush on the way up. And then as we come back down again, we'll redo the blocks. And you'll angle them like so. Let me show. And we'll rest in a pose called Supta Baddha Konasana, and the blocks will support both the upper leg and the lower leg on this diagonal setting. Yeah? And it's meant to feel good. If it doesn't feel good, or if you need to put the blocks in a different position, that's fine. Yeah. Take a second just to land here. Sarah, flip the blocks. Kelly, you're good. Does it feel okay? Yeah. Look at Kelly's blocks. See how, yeah. And then turn the top end of it. Yeah. That's it. Yeah, that's it. That's it. And actually, Scott and Myrna, do that too. So take your blocks and have them so that the top part angle is in. Is that better?
It's about the same.
It's the same. Okay. Yeah. Oh. Yeah. Now, for whatever reason, if it doesn't feel good, come out. Come out. Everybody, see if you can relax the abdomen. Relax your face. From the inner corners of the eyes to the outer corners, and from the outer corners to the temples. Relax the space between the eyebrows and the wrinkles in your forehead. Let go of the jaw, the tongue, and the little spot right behind your ears. If you would like to remain in this position for Shavasana, please do. If you'd rather stretch the legs long, that's another option. Really anything else that makes you feel good. Begin to breathe a little deeper. And it might feel good here to roll your head one side, other side. It might feel good to stretch your limbs. If you're still up in the Baddha Konasana, remove the blocks and take the legs out. Eventually here we'll rebend the knees and roll to one side. Take your time to return upright when you sitting. The light in me honors the light in you. Namaste. Namaste.